Hello and welcome. We're looking for $2 million homes around the country. This time it's in Connecticut. Here we go. So Connecticut had a very good variety of homes. They're able to do some different things with it. And I kind of like that. There's big homes, there's modern homes, there's fancy homes, there's homes like this one that even have an airplane hangar. So here we go. This one is located kind of on the eastern side of Connecticut, kind of not really close to anything big. That's kind of when it went so low. But the house itself was interesting. I like their take on things. It was definitely a modern look to it, and it has this little hangar here, and it has a grass runway. So I don't know how that works with planes. I mean, I've seen them before, but just kind of surprised. I wonder how that works, like with a lot of rain. But anyway, the interior was extremely bright and sunny. It has large, like uh, the roof is open and has windows in it, and it's just tremendous, just flooded with light, the whole place. And they also use light wood to keep the interior just very light and airy. And oh, there you go. So there's just what's helping bring in all this light in addition to the side windows. So it was a fun house. It has a little rooftop area and this big hangar, but no pool. And if you're not into planes, it kind of loses something. Only 3 bedrooms too, which is kind of weird for an expensive house. This one, on the other hand, which was located on the west side of Connecticut, but not too close to New York, so that's kind of a downer part. It was nice, and it had some land to it and pretty views. It had some stuff going for it, but it was kind of a work in progress. Like, this was a vinyl pool. They're going to change out the pool, and there's some other interior things that it just needed some work. So it wasn't quite there yet, and some of this kitchen is a little bit dated, so it could stand to be updated. So it has this separate barn, which is a meeting area, and could be used for some cool things. It has like a kind of a gym in the bottom, but it just wasn't quite there yet. Next up, so this house, this is just different. I don't know. It kind of looks like a museum or something. It was located just northwest of New Haven, so you're close to Yale and all that. And but these people, they kind of went for it. I don't know. They loves their rugs. They loves their rug. There's round rugs, long rugs, straight rugs, square rugs. They're all about the rugs. A rug in here. So if you're into rugs, this is the house for you. The kitchen was a little small. It's pretty bad when my house almost has more kitchen cabinets than these big fancy houses. And another, I guess, nope, that's a rug, I think. Maybe that's a rug underneath the furniture. I don't know. But I do appreciate the fact that I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's for black light or what. But it's different. Oh, and there's rugs up here. So I do appreciate them taking a chance, but just not ultimately my cup of tea. This one, located on the western side, and which would be, you could get to New Haven, but also get to New York pretty easy. They call it a modern perfection. It's not perfect, but it's actually pretty good. The exterior is not much to look at. The pool's okay. I mean, I've seen lots better, and the patio's not great, but the interior is definitely your modern look with the big sunroof. Is just another one of these bright, airy interiors, and this modern art just goes along with it really well. Big, big size windows. It's so they did. If you like modern, this is a good take on it. So I thought it was a. If you like modern, there you go. So great fun house, that one. Next up, so this one is, if you need 12,000 square feet, it only has 4 bedrooms. So 12,000 square feet, almost 13,000, gets you only 4 bedrooms, but it has 11 baths. So there you go. What could be that bad? It's kind of located, I don't know, kind of not really close to too much. I guess it's not. Anyway, it didn't have a lot of acreage to it. It had like some kind of different touches. I don't know if that would help me or hurt me going to the bathroom in there. But and I don't know. I don't know if I like the blue. I'm all about taking chances, but I'm not crazy about the blue. And then they kind of whitewashed some of the other parts. This one kind of just feels like they started renovating it and didn't quite finish everything. So they didn't get it quite where they wanted it. I do like the wraparound porch. It's pretty huge and huge. They have an indoor pool and they have an outdoor pool that they say is Olympic size, but I don't know if that looks Olympic size to me. So it's a big home with potential. This house I keep going back to, and I kept liking it more and more as we went on. It's in New Haven, and it's up on this hill, and just has great views around everything. And down here in New Haven, there's a train that you can take into New York or up to Boston. So, a quick little taxi or Uber ride down there, and you could just take a train to a bigger city. But it also kind of had the art museum feel to it, and the interior still feels like it, but pretty nice views. I'm sure, with the foliage in, it would be even better. There's no pool up here, but like every window has a nice view, and it's set on 3 acres, so you have your privacy up here, and it was just interesting. So it just kind of felt like a New York City high-rise apartment, sort of, but it was a whole house. So I really liked that. I found it was interesting. I don't know if I like New Haven enough to push it up any higher, but again, so it's just very picturesque. Moving on. So this one kind of got marked down a little bit because it's kind of over here, sort of in the middle of nowhere. I guess, sort of closer to Boston, but it's right between kind of Boston and New York. But you have 125 acres, and then some of those acres butt up to, forest land. So plenty of room to roam. And the house itself did have a pool, and did have this barn, and it did have another little barn, but the interior wasn't terribly fancy. So I don't know. It's just a trade-off. It's like, do you want your land or do you want your house? If you like 120 acres, 25 acres, then this would be pretty good. It had this really kind of tiny, almost comical cover to grill for, which I guess keeps it off the grill itself, but not much else. But I guess it's effective. And it also has a separate barn. So initially I had this up higher, but I don't know. I think it's just kind of a little bit far away from stuff. Moving on, this is 23 acres that are a little bit more peaceful. There's a creek which runs through this property, which is actually a pretty big creek. It has a nice pool. It has a guest house. It has a barn in addition to the guest house, and then the barn has, like, on the top floor has like a little DJ area. And so this just some of the land, just the way they have it set up. Yeah, so this is the barn. On the top is a dance area, and then more area for more cars. So and like this view just looks very peaceful. It's just the land itself seemed very nice. Let me take you down to the house itself. It's a little bit older, so it's kind of compartmentalized compared to some of the open concepts. It's not bad, but if you really needed an open concept, this would not be it. So this is the top of that barn I was talking about. They have like this little DJ dance area set up. So just kind of crazy. But I really, again, like, here's that creek that goes through it. You could just have fun going creek hopping. Moving on. This one was located kind of up here near Bristol, so if you work for ESPN, you'd be good. or if you're going to see that NASCAR race. It had 16 acres and it had a nice pond view, and the interior, they'd redone it, and so they added some nice touches. They could have been a little bit more consistent. They're kind of all over the place with their wood, but not a terribly bad way. I kind of just noticed it when I went through again. So the house is not bad, but say that for. But it's got a separate garage, so overall, very nice. And so the winner, which is plain looking kind of on the outside, but its kind of big draw was the fact that it's located right here on the edge of Connecticut. And from there to Times Square, if you're driving, it's 1 hour to Times Square. To Robert Moses State Park, which is a great state park and beach. If you want to see the Atlantic Ocean, you're an hour and a half to the beach. It's much less popular than Jones Beach, and it's a good family beach. So that's like an hour and a half away. New Haven was an hour away. I think even Boston was not as far as you would think. Was just under 3. So because of that path, and I think to the airports it's an hour to LaGuardia or JFK. So it was just very close to a whole lot of stuff. And the other thing about it, it has an indoor pool and hot tub with the ceiling that lets the light in, and it has teak wood. So I just thought it'd be a nice gesture. So they kind of whitewashed the walls a little bit, but I like the wood flooring throughout. Was a good touch and just enough contrast to give it a little something. The kitchen, they have one of those Franca stoves, and then they have 2 additional ovens, and I think they said they have 2 dishwashers too. So you can really get cooking. The interior wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It has some office space set up in it. They kind of went with a modern furniture. I think it was 2,000, 3,000 bottles it can fit. So that's a good start. But they also had they did not mention it, but you can see a tennis court, but that tennis court needs love. I think if they did like Versa blocks or whatever they call it, that you could redo it and resurface it for tennis, pickleball, shuffleboard, basketball, and kind of make it a multi-purpose area. It would cost probably $30,000 to $40,000 to do that right, and then add lighting would be probably another 10 to 15. But it'd still be under $2 million. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed Connecticut. It was interesting. I just think the one house being so close to so many things kind of put it over the top. Although having 125 acres would be pretty cool, and the peaceful land would be too. So take care. Hope you enjoyed. See you later.